making sure that we're mindfully in our right spaces. So you've got your feet in parallel. Okay, that's looking great. All righty. And we've got our hands down by our sides, just easing down towards the floor. And just go ahead and think about the weight a little bit into the heels, maybe feeling light under the toes, perhaps picking those toes up and placing them down so they're nice and relaxed individually. Okay, well done. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And thinking about where we're sending this breath. Of course, you're sending it into the lungs, allowing them to just expand like balloons. And as soon as you start to allow that full inflation of the lungs, feel the ribs corresponding with the stretch, not only north and south, up and down, but really into this side space. Okay, so maybe when you force that breath into this upper body, you might even feel the belly button starts to just disappear a little bit by itself as you inhale. Maybe not, maybe that means nothing. Okay, don't worry, but you're thinking about these lungs and the ribs for the moment as you breathe in. Allow yourself to also maybe layer up the thoughts of your spine, just gently stretching. Have a lovely morning stretch as you inhale. Let the vertebrae have a reach through the crown of the head, feeling every vertebrae lifting from the base of the spine, from that lovely sacroiliac joint right at the base of the spine. Allow yourself to breathe in and imagine yourself stretching like a slinky toy, just stretching up as you inhale. Now try and think about holding on to that height. When you've got that lovely lift through the crown of the head, hold on to that lift as you exhale, and then start to think about that belly pulling into your spine area, in towards your middle as you exhale. All right, guys, so the air leaves the body like you're shrink wrapping this midsection with an exhale. All righty, and then of course, finishing off our lovely activation is the pelvic floor area. So as you exhale, go ahead and try and find the areas of wind and water, drawing them up even more as if they're just coming up right up through the middle of the body, and try and hold on to them as you exhale. Okay, so think about that one more minute as you exhale. Make sure those areas around wind and water are just staying a little bit active and engaged. And that gives them a few more seconds just to warm up, wake up, and also work. Last breath in, growing tall, expand the rib cage, exhale, shrinking and zipping up those pelvic floors, and bring yourselves back into the room. Okay, lovely. Staying where you are, try and feel like you're nice and light in there into the soles of the feet if you can. So that sense of belly in, growing through the crown of the head. And with a breath in, I'd like you to just lift your fingertips to the side so you're out towards a T, breathing in. And when you get to this lift, reach through the fingers nice and tall. Let the hands sink down by your sides, breathing in, and exhale, lifting, and reach fingertips from fingertips to your left and right. Down we go one more time, breathing in, exhale, lifting those arms and hold in this T position, fingertips reaching to the sides of you, away to the left and right. Well done. Okay, so now I'm going to just breathe in. As you breathe in, I'd like you to turn your palms up towards the ceiling with a breath in, and exhale, rotate your hands down to the floor, perhaps a little bit behind you, maybe if you've got that rotation range. Turn your palms to the sky as you breathe in. Exhale, send your palms down or slightly behind you. Now we're going to add in a lift of the gaze. As you breathe in, turn palms to the ceiling and lift the gaze slightly, and a little tiny arching of the back. And now turn the palms down and your gaze follows towards the toes, perhaps the floor in front of your mat, and the palms might turn a little bit more, okay, towards the ceiling. Let's go. Palms come to the sky, lift your gaze. And now turn the palms to the floor and look to the floor, maybe letting those palms turn even further if you can. One more time, lift the gaze and lift and grow the spine nice and long and down to the floor. And then pause in your halfway house, regroup, and let the hands come back down by your sides. Gorgeous, well done. Okay, bring those legs slightly closer together, just a smidgen, not necessarily neighbors. Okay, and we're going to lift the left heel so you're onto the left ball of the foot. Now bring in that belly button and the pelvic floor area. Fire these guys up. If you need to hold on to a wall, do go ahead and touch for balance if you need to. We're going to see if we can lift this left leg, okay? So when you're ready, breathing in, exhale, zip and hollow. So that's that core and the tummy coming in, the pelvic floor is drawing under and into the left leg lift if you can. Place the foot back down. Now it might not be a huge toe lift. We're going to repeat on this left side. So it might not be that you can get the knee lifting high. Perhaps for you, it's just a small hop and down as you regroup and a hop and down. Okay, so we're just challenging the balance, working with your range. Okay, that's lovely. Last two. And just find the range for a moment and see if you can hold it a small few number of seconds. Okay, so perhaps it's a float, perhaps it's a knee lift. We're just going to hold and challenge the balance, especially on this other supporting wobbling ankle, and release the leg back down and go ahead and switch sides. So breathing in, again, hold a wall or something, or you can turn around. I don't mind if there's something near to you that you want to hold on to, do grab. All right, and then lifting the heel on the right. Onto toe touch on the right. Tummy's in, pelvic floor strong. Go ahead and find your range now. Perhaps it's a small hop. Perhaps it's a lift the knee to your hip height. Perhaps you can do hip height if you hold on to something with maybe just one single finger, just a feather touch support. Okay, so always worth trying to challenge yourself. Okay, we're just going to do two more. And then we're holding this last one. So find your range, don't go too far, hold your range and just let that supporting ankle have a little moment by itself, wobbling around, making sure it's just responding to your body and balance. And then release that leg back down. Gorgeous. Okay. Now we're just going to take our legs together now, all the way together. So you're zipping your ankles and your knees together, and just gently bring your knees down towards your toes. Once you've got there, okay, maximum range with those knees pulling down to your toes. Can you now imagine you've got a bit of glue squeezing the knees together? Can you press those knees? Okay, press the knees together. And from here, you'll then start to feel maybe some messages coming up the inner thighs, maybe even around this pelvic floor or pelvis area. Squeeze. Nice. Hands behind the back of the head. And equally, I'd like you to press your head slightly into your hands. Okay, so you've got a bit of pressing going on. Now the whole body is feeling a little bit engaged. Okay, we're going to breathe in and just over towards the right. Now the elbow is going to head towards the right for lateral flexion, but I'm hoping that everything's going to stay really still from the pelvis down. You're still squeezing those knees together. Come back to center, breathing in. Exhale now towards the left. Again, a bit of a challenge to the balance because we've brought our legs together nice and close. Okay, well done. And over to the right one more time. Squeeze on the knees, nice and sinking down with the knees towards the toes. Okay, so we kind of forget what we're doing. We then start to stand a little, just sink down into this position and then come back through to center. Over towards the right one more time and pause for me. Squeeze on the knees, draw the pelvic floors in, slight press on the back of the head. Well done. Okay, I'm going to get you now to send your hands towards the right, both of them into full arm extension. Reach those hands and reach, so now you've got a full stretch down this left side of the body, I hope. Squeeze on the knees one more time. Bring your hands back towards the back of the head. Press the head into the hands, back to center, regroup, breathe in. And exhale towards the left. Squeeze on the knees, still not squeezing. Nice. Now the hands are reaching towards the left. Out they go. Reach from the shoulder joint, through the elbow. Stretch and reach. Well done. And hands behind the back of the head and back through to center. Staying here with the knees where they are, pop your hands now by your sides. And we're going to roll down here. Just gently bring your chin into your throat space. And we're going to imagine now we're drawing down this chest plate, okay? And you're going to just head down into a roll down. You can relax the knees a little bit. You don't need to do the squeeze so much as you head down to your maximum range with the knees bent, which should be, for most of us, thereabouts. We're on the floor with the fingers. Let the head go. Sometimes we keep on looking out to where we're going. So just let the head hang for a moment. Okay. Now, when you're ready, I'm going to ask you to breathe in. Bring in the belly button as if you're pulling it right up towards the ceiling. Bring the pelvic floors up as well, and then start the restart. You can always walk your hands up your legs if you need to. Uncurl the body And then the legs will straighten and we're back into standing. Okay, go ahead and widen the legs slightly. They're a little bit wider than perhaps our normal setup. Okay, now we're going to go a bit deeper into the hip and knee mobility, all righty? So I'd like you to think about now a little bench behind you or a chair. And I'd like you to think about you're going to sit down in that chair. So bring your arms forward as you attempt to sit down into that chair behind you, and we're into a squat. Now wait here in this squat for a moment. I just want to do a little bit of tidying up, housekeeping. Let's bring that belly in. Okay. Are you feeling nice and grounded in the heels? Perhaps the toes, you need to feel a little bit on that little toe for me, so we're not rolling in and those knees are coming in, okay? Shoulder blades are back and down. Can I make sure your collarbones are nice and out towards the side or in front of you, rather, I should say. Okay, bring yourself back up. So let's think about that this next time. Breathing in, let's go ahead and squat down. Belly button in, collarbones are nice and open, and then we bring ourselves back up. Well done. Breathing in, we've got 3 more. Down we go with mindful intention. Okay, so conscious that you're thinking of all these things. Breathe in, exhale down into the heels, the side of the toes, nice and planted. Last 2. Mobilizing the knees and the hips. And last 1, we're going to stay down. So finding your lower down squat position, tummies in, collarbones open. Nice. Sliding your right elbow now in towards your waist. Okay, I want you now to look over your right shoulder and twist through the waist and rib cage. And this is our bow and arrow, okay? Slide your hands back to the front, if that makes sense. Another left elbow slides into your waist. Continue the left elbow behind you, looking over your left shoulder. Get the rotation through the twist in the rib cage and come back to the start position. Breathe in, exhale to the right. Slide that right elbow behind you. And now 1 more time on the left. Perhaps your thighs are having a little bit of a shout at you right now. I don't know if yours are, mine are. And then come back to center. Pop your hands on your thighs. Look down towards your belly and just cat stretch here for a moment, lifting that mid-spine towards the ceiling, and then straighten the legs and roll yourselves back up into standing. Great stuff. Okay. So we're going to take ourselves down onto the mats now. We're starting off in 4-point kneeling. All right, so you're going to have your hands directly underneath your shoulders. So let's get ourselves down there and regroup. Okay. Are we all right? Yeah. Okay, good. Can see there. Nice, well done. Okay, thanks, guys. So your hands are directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. All right, do check that, okay? If you feel like you've got your knees underneath you and you're kind of hovering, maybe squatting here with a stretched lower spine, just send those knees slightly back 1 centimeter or so there's a good distance between your hands and your knees. Yeah, great, okay. All right, so folks, we're going to just do a little bit of some nice basic work. I'd like you to turn your right hand onto the little finger. Okay, now remember you've got this lovely tea tray across your shoulders. Extend now your right hand forward and don't let that tea tray tip to the left or right. Okay, so don't let the shoulders sink down. Nice. Now the tea tray is across your pelvis or your tailbone. Perfectly stable. Let your left leg come out away behind you. Toenails are still touching down towards the floor. And again, this tea tray hasn't wobbled to the side, yeah? Now from here, keep everything super still. Breathe in and just arm lift to shoulder height. No leg, just arm lift for me, please. We're just going to do 4 lifts with the arm. Just lifting to your maximum range where you haven't then twisted and tilted that tray across the shoulders. Okay, so that's your maximum range. Pause with the fingertips down. Breathing in, exhale, single leg lift now. Okay, so the hand stays down, just the leg lifting on its own. That's it, nice. So we're just doing it individually to begin with. Now that might be your thing. You might just want to do one and then the other. Okay, you can alternate arm then leg, or we can go ahead now and we'll bring both leg and arm off at the same time. So breathing in, exhale, lift arm and leg, or continue to switch arm then leg. Yeah, does that make sense? Good. Okay. And we're going to pause with the arm and leg elevated, okay? If you're switching up arm to leg, just pause with your arm and leg down and you can slide your arm to the side. What we're going to do with our arm and leg up is take the arm out to 45 degrees, perhaps to the corner or diagonal of your mat on the right, and your left leg is going to reach to the diagonal corner of the mat on the left there. Come back to center. Breathing in, exhale, and then out to the diagonals. Okay, so as I say, this can be with your hand and foot on the mat if you just want to slide them on the floor, or elevated at bottom or hip height for that challenge. Last one, and we're all going to hold, whether you're on the floor or elevated, hold at this diagonal. Yeah, you've got there. Good, nice. Looking down at the mat, still nice and long if you can. I know you need to see me, that's fine. But we're going to breathe in, and then we're going to exhale and bring the elbow and knee underneath you. So they're kind of kiss underneath the belly, but you're still looking down at the floor. So don't bring in the neck at this point, okay? So trying to keep the spine almost still. You reach out to the diagonal, and then you pull knee to elbow to meet underneath you. Breathing in when you're at the diagonal. We've just got two more. Exhale as you bring that knee and elbow underneath you. Good. Reach nice and long. Reach, reach, reach. Nice. Stable shoulders. Good, guys. Well done. And then bring that leg and arm back in underneath you this last time. And back into a gentle child's pose. Do put a cushion behind you if you want to bolster underneath your bottom, or perhaps under your forehead. Benefits of being home, you might have lots of soft furnishings you can use around you. So do pop those where you would like to support yourself under head or bum. And when you're ready, we'll bring ourselves back up. Okay, so on the other side. Alrighty, so into 4-point kneeling. Let's go ahead and see how we feel on this side. Alrighty, so when you're ready, we're going to start off. Yeah, that's it. Belly to spine, neck is long, shoulders are away from your earlobes, remember. Okay, guys, first of all, left hand onto the little finger, imaginary tray on your shoulders, just slide that left hand forwards, no tilting of the tray. Okay, well done. Now we're going to go ahead and take the right leg and reach that out behind us. Again, the tray on our pelvis is still. Good. We're now with our toenails down, hand down, just the arm lifts for me. Breathe in, exhale, arm lift only. Let's just isolate that left shoulder as you breathe in with the hand down, exhale as you lift. And visualize the whole of your body being super calm. Yeah, so there's not a lot going on in movement. You're just single arm lifts and lowers, yeah? Isolate the left shoulder. Pausing down, let's now down with the hand and up with the leg. So when you're ready, breathe in, single leg lift and lower. Just isolate the leg. Okay, reach that leg long, breathe in, exhale, lift and lower. Last one and pause. Okay, as before, choosing whether you want to take it into the next level or just alternating your your arm and leg. If you want to take it up a level, lift your arm and leg to bottom or hip height. Reach and stretch those limbs without losing your shoulder alignment. And then we're going to just touch down and raise. So working in doubles now, arm and leg, so the extra challenge, lifting. As you exhale, inhale down. The arms stay straight, nice, well done. The legs stay straight. And we're going to do two more before we hold and pause. So on this next one, if you can now hold and pause, if you have been doing alternating arm and leg, just reach both out and you're going to just have them on the mat as I'm showing you now, just resting here. Okay, so guys, with your arm and leg elevated, let's go ahead out to that diagonal, reaching the left arm to the left corner, right leg to the right corner. Come back to center with a breath in. Exhale. Staying on this lovely hip and shoulder height. Or you can be sliding on the mat if you would rather keep grounded. Then just slide along the mat to the side and to center, to the side. And pause this next time at your diagonals. Pausing here, we're going to breathe in. Exhale, bring your elbow in and meet the knee underneath you with a gentle squeeze. Reach the diagonal. We've got three more. Let's power on through if we can. Do, if you wish, pop those hands and feet on the floor. Again, you can just touch out wide and draw in without being at hip height. And this is our last one. And then put your hands on the mat, knee underneath you, and push back into child's pose. Okay, well done, guys. Pausing there. All righty. So we're just going to bring ourselves into a sitting position. So if you'd like to swing your legs around, your legs are going to be pretty much the width of the mat, okay? Alrighty, if you know you get tight hamstrings, do, again, grab one of those cushions around you, pop up onto a cushion if you want to, or if you haven't got a cushion available, you can bend the knees slightly, that is fine. But we're going to try and flex the toes up towards the ceiling just to stretch the back of the legs slightly. And hands are one more time behind the back of the head, okay? So popping them there, interlace your fingers, maybe the thumbs just under your earlobes, and that sense of lifting through the crown of the head would be lovely to elongate the spine, please, for me, guys. I'm now going to turn so you can see me, so stay where you are. All right, so, okay, so we're sitting nice and tall. We're trying to find space in the lower spine as well. And I'd like you to now think about the twist. Like a corkscrew, we're going to breathe in and just go ahead and twist to the left. Looking towards the left, you're twisting from the waist, through the rib cage, through the shoulders, and back to center. Breathe in. So these elbows are kind of in your peripheral vision. Don't be tempted to try and drag the elbows together to get round the corner, okay? So keep the elbows in peripheral vision and twist back to the left. And back to center, breathing in and exhale. Okay, so we're going to go one more time to the left, please. So go ahead, breathe in and rotation to the left. All righty, now your right elbow, I would like you now to draw down towards your right knee. So over we go, right elbow to right knee. Okay, bring yourself back up, face forward. Let's rotate to the right. Over we go, twist to the right. Now it's the left elbow. It's going to ease down towards the left knee. And then bring yourself back up, and we've got one more either side. Breathe in, grow through the spine. This is about height in the spine. Look into the left and right elbow to right knee. And bring yourself back up. Lift, 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 lift. That's it. And to the right. Nice. Now left elbow easing down to your maximum range. Just a gentle back mobilizer and through to center, releasing your arms. Okay, gorgeous. Bring your legs together, and we are now going to swing our legs underneath us for one more piece in our 4-point kneeling series. However, we are off the wrists, okay? So let's give those wrists a break. Into triangles. Okay, so a lot of us use this position to sort of protect the hands a little bit if the hands are a bit weary. So elbows are down. And once you're in 4-point kneeling, again, try not to dump your belly button down towards the ceiling. Think about a belly button in, and again, shoulder blades. Pull the shoulder blades back and down. That's super important. Okay, knees are kind of hip width apart for me, and I'd like you to extend your right leg out to the back of the mat. Toenails are down. Now go ahead and bend your knee. Okay, so your foot comes up to the ceiling, and now I want you to flex your ankle so that your sole of the foot is now facing up towards the sky. Checking your hips. Okay, sometimes once we've got here, we realize that we've actually really wonked that leg out to the side. So feeling your hips are still facing down towards the mat. When you're ready, what I'd like you to do is just think about the sole of your foot reaching or pressing slightly higher towards the ceiling, and then relax. Okay, so not down to the mat. You kind of stay in this elevated position and you press the sole of the foot just slightly higher each time. So it's a push and a press. You're staying nice and high, and you're really thinking this is about my bottom cheek on the right side. My glute max on the right side is getting a nice, strong, active squeeze. Okay, if you feel like you're cramping a little, perhaps send that leg slightly further away, or it might be that it's better for you to release off in between and drop the knee towards the floor and then lift. Okay, just gives the chance for that muscle just to have a little bit more movement, less isolating. Okay, so that's your option. Otherwise, we're squeezing for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and hold this leg up. Now your knees elevated, okay? Notice and be aware your left leg is on the mat. I want your right knee to now head down to the mat, but cross over your left calf muscle as if it was trying to touch to the mat. Okay, maybe as if you're crossing your legs, you desperately need a wee, you've squeezed those legs together. Press your foot back up towards the sky. We're in our start position with the breath in. Okay, do you see? And we cross over using the inner thigh. Yeah, and back up towards the ceiling. So as that knee crosses over your calf muscle, squeeze inner thighs. Good. Bent knee still. So keeping that bent knee, yeah, just lead with the knee. That's it. Okay. Try to keep your foot up towards the sky, Helen. So keep the right angle at the knee and just cross over the knee. So yeah, that's it. As if the knee is just trying to cross over the calf muscle. Good, that's it. Keeps it nice and compact. We've got 3 more. Nice. And 2. Keeping the right angle at that knee. So you're really isolating this inner thigh muscle group. And last one, bring your leg back underneath you. Let's go back into child's pose a moment just to take the weight off the shoulders as well as the wrists. They're working super hard. 4-point kneeling is really good for shoulder stability and pelvic stability, but it's tiring. Okay, and our final piece here, let's go back into triangles. Setting yourselves up, as you know, neck long, shoulders away from the earlobes, belly in tight, knees close-ish, hip width together-ish, and then taking your left leg out, extend that leg first. Let's find space in the joints. Then we bend at the knee to a right angle, and then we flex at the foot. How does it feel on this side? Hips still facing down towards the floor. Nice. Let's press the sole of the foot on the left here up to the sky, and then relax it down to hip height only. Up we go with the press and relax to hip height. And press and relax and press and relax. Well done. So we've got 8 more. So we're going to just make sure we're really working this glute as before. If you want to drop the knee down to the mat in between, that will maybe avoid a little bit of cramping as it relax off the muscle, relax the muscle slightly in between. And lower for 3 and 2. Exhale as you press. And last one. Pausing high, again keeping the right angle at the knee, breathe in, and now this left knee travels over the right calf muscle as if it's trying to get to the mat down there on the other side, and squeeze the inner thighs together. Press the foot back to the sky, breathing in. Exhale, cross and squeeze. And lift to the sky with a breath in. Exhale as you cross and squeeze. And maybe, just maybe, as you're crossing that knee over, you can think about the belly and the pelvic floor area coming in as well. Okay, quite a lot going on here, so don't worry if not. We've got 3 more. And 2. And this is our final one. You will be pleased to hear. Pop your knee underneath you. And again, just easing your bottom back towards your heels. It may not get there. You may prefer to have your hands forwards. You may prefer to have your elbows down. Just rest for a second and take 2 nice breaths as we just reinvigorate the whole body with our breath. 1 more breath in. And then gently walking your hands back towards your knees. We're going to swing our legs around to the side, or you can cross over your ankles and roll over. And we're lying down. Okay, guys, so popping yourselves down. We're kind of in the middle of the mat with the bottom. And your heels are reasonably close towards your bottom, please. Hands down by your sides. Shoulder blades back and down. And your chin slightly tucked into your throat space. Okay. Okay, so while we're lying here now, I just want to go through a few thoughts from your brain to your body. Okay, so can you just feel that you can now press slightly into the heels of your feet? Now, sometimes this is quite a tricky one. It's not a big press, but it's a connection. It's an energy. It's trying to torch them both to almost take a bit of weight out of the rest of the body. Yeah? So, okay, relax that for a moment. And maybe now think about the elbows. Can you maybe think about the elbows pressing into the mat? Okay. And maybe the shoulder blades slightly pressing into the mat. And release. All right. So What I'm going to ask you to do is see if you can think of those three areas, the heels of the feet, the elbows, and the shoulder blades, pressing down into the mat at the same time. Now, when you get those kind of pressing points all around your body, feet, elbows, shoulders, you can perhaps start to think about your bottom just lifting off the mat, almost as if it's floating towards the sky. So I'm not looking for you to do a bridge peel. I'm just looking for you to lift the bottom, but awareness of the pressing down of everything around you. Release your bottom back down. When you're ready, again, breathe in, exhale, press into the soles of the feet, the elbows, the shoulder blades, and just lift the bottom off the floor. That's all I'm asking you to do. There's no peel, there's no great articulation. There's more of a press than an engagement of muscle groups. The neck is long, the shoulders, or rather around the neck, the muscles are relaxed. As you lift, and exhaling this last time as you lift. Coming back down onto the mat and pause. Okay, so we have an awareness and a conscious knowledge that you can make yourself quite light and airy if you need to, okay? What we're going to do from here, however, is go into a little bit of work on our tabletop position. So starting off with our neutral spine, you've got a space in your lower back for a Malteser. We've talked about before, that little space is okay if you have only one leg working. So pressing into the elbows and shoulder blades, belly in, you've got a nice Malteser. Breathe in, exhale, and lift your right leg into tabletop. Be a perfectionist, knee over hip, foot in alignment with your knee. That's it, place your foot back down. Breathe in, exhale. You've still got this energy in the elbows, energy in the shoulder blades, the belly pulling in, and the pelvic floor strong as you breathe in and switch from left to right. Okay, just single tabletop lifts and down. Feel the rib cage in perfect parallel to your pelvis. There's no tilt through the spine. Your spine is in neutral. It's lovely, gentle, undulating S shape. Okay, is perfectly intact. And then release back down. Nice. Both feet back down. Okay, so when both feet are back down, now go into imprint, where you place the lower back down on the mat, squashing your Malteser. You've now tried to flatten off that lower S shape, okay? That's fine, because you're going to go into tabletop with both legs. So breathe in, exhale, bring the belly to spine and draw your right leg into tabletop and draw your left leg into tabletop as well, okay? Conscious awareness of the imprint, remember? Nice. Now, remember, you've got a right angle at the knee. I want this to be absolutely cast in stone, this right angle, okay? You're now going to touch the floor with your right toe, but you're not allowed to open the angle of the knee or reduce the angle of the knee, yeah? So come back into tabletop and switch sides, touching the left toe down. Imagine it's just a pond and you're just touching the water, sending the ripples across the pond as you light touch your toe down on the mat and back up, switching from side to side. Keep that belly pressing down towards the mat. Okay, you're in imprint. And we've got last one. And then gently bring both legs back down, down, down onto the mat. Well done. Okay. Bring your feet together, I should say, and roll your knees out wide. So you've got a frog leg position. So the soles of the feet kind of start to meet to go towards each other. Now, if they don't meet, that's fine. Wherever it's kind of comfortable, really. We're going to do a frog's legs bridge. I'm hoping this avoids some of the cramping in the hamstrings for this week. If it's not ideal for you, you're more than welcome to put your feet back up into your feet on the floor position and do your standard bridge with knees to the sky. Up to you completely. Okay, so you're in frog's leg position. Thinking about your pubic bone there, right at the front, the pubic symphysis of your pelvis. I'd like you now to lift the pubic bone as if it's coming towards your nose, and you'll feel that tilt. We've talked about the marble rolling into the belly button, and then release it back down. And we're going to just do 2 more pelvic tilts here, just gently lifting the tailbone off the floor and releasing back down, tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. And pausing there. Next time we're going to go a bit higher, guys. So you're going to come forwards now, lifting the tailbone off the mat and finding your lower rib cage. Peeling back down from the lower rib cage, sorry, from the mid spine down towards your bottom and tailbone on the mat. So just going up to the lower ribs if you can for just 2 or 3. Especially articulating this lower spine. We're going to pause the next time you're on your lowest ribs, okay? So feel you've lifted, feel the pubic bone is lifting towards the ceiling, but you're very connected under the low rib area, okay? Now we're not going to go higher, but what I would like you to do is just kiss your bottom towards the floor and then press back up. So you're imagining that your touch point on the lower ribs is glued down, so you're not going to get a huge lift. But again, we're isolating now these bottom areas, okay? These glute muscles. All right, so you're just lowering and lifting. You're not looking to articulate or peel up and down particularly. You're just kissing the bottom on the mat and then lifting up. Controlled small move. Okay, probably about maybe 15, 20 centimeters max, I'd imagine. Keep pinning down those lower ribs. And pause this next time with the pelvis up. Now start to peel the next ribs. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can head up towards those shoulder blades. Your pubic bone, your hip bones will probably get a little bit higher. Nice, well done. Okay, we're going to repeat that same exercise, but now we're using the shoulder blades as our pinpoint. So let the whole of the back come down, the bottom, the spine, the rib cage down onto the mat. We breathe in, exhale as you press up. Down, 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 kiss the floor, exhale, press up. Well done, down, and press up. And last 3, pressing up, last 2, well done. And final 1, pausing here with the bridge. Just pause, take your hands up to the sky now into your double arm float. Well done. Okay, arms, so just towards the sky, beg your pardon. And we're going to now try and think about those ribs. Imagine each rib working individually with their corresponding vertebrae. Let one come down, then the next. Keep that pubic bone elevated until the last minute. You're still pressing one down, one vertebrae down at a time, like keys on a piano. They come down. And when you get to the base, lifting your knees now, bringing your knees back to center and hands down by the sides. Bring your knees into your chest one at a time. Hold behind your kneecaps. And you can have a roll from side to side here or small circles. Okay. Now I'd like you just to pause here with the knees into your chest. And we're just going to have a little moment of awareness, okay? Now, obviously you can bring your knees in quite a long way when you start to lift the tailbone off the mat. I want you to imagine your tailbone, that little coccyx or coccyx there, has got a piece of super glue on it and it is pinned down towards the floor. So go and squish that down on the mat for me. But bring the knees in slightly closer if you can. A little bit more of a hug and a squeeze. But that tailbone is still down, right? It's still super glued on the mat. Okay. With the tailbone still down, I'd like you to bring your head, neck and shoulders now off the mat and bring your knees towards your nose. Okay, tailbone still down. Maybe you can bring those knees in a bit more. Okay. All right, so you're hugging these knees in nice and tight. Now I'd like you to just hug your right knee into you and let your left leg reach along the mat. So it's on the mat, reach that left leg nice and long. If your neck is starting to be a bit uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to just gently hold behind the back of the head with one hand, or you can pop your head back on the mat. Okay, so that is your choice. All righty, we're going to bring that left leg back into the start position. So go ahead, bring it back in and hug. Head up or head down, I don't mind. Hold on to the left knee and let your right leg reach on the mat. Yeah, let it come down on the mat and reach the right leg. Again, you can support the head if you wish. Okay, reach that leg nice and long. Bring the knee into your chest. And then bring your knee in now. So both knees are in towards the chest. Okay, hold the knees where they are with your mind and muscle. Pop the hands behind the back of your head if you can. And now I'd like you to think about the belly button pressing down onto the mat. Your tailbone is still down. Now I want you to send your right leg to 45 degrees. So you're looking to kind of reach out to halfway up the wall. Nice. Bring your knee back into your chest. Breathe in, and your left leg reaches out now, halfway up the wall. And we've got 2 more on either side. Right leg reach and stretch. Holding that head, the neck is nice and long, the belly's down on the, pushing the lower back on the mat. We've got our last one on each side. Reach. And final one. And gently bring your head, neck, and shoulders down on the mat. And place one foot down and then the other. Go ahead and reach your arms over now towards the wall behind you. Reach the legs towards the end of the mat and have a really nice big full mat stretch. Okay. Popping your hands down by your sides. Okay. So your feet are in parallel, your hands are down by your sides. And when you're in this lying down position, you can't almost avoid the fact that you've got a Malteser in that lower back. Okay. It's kind of difficult to dump down into imprint with your legs long. So just still think you've got a Malteser there. The belly is pulled in. Okay. And you're still nice and active in the core. Pelvic floors are strong. And I'd like you to feel like your legs are really lengthened. Okay, reach those legs to the end of the mat. Okay, try not to arch the lower back, but just know that there's a space. Okay, now can I ask you now to just breathe in, exhale, and lift your right leg. So it's a single straight leg lift off the mat and back down. And then the left leg, single straight leg lift and back down. So it might just be a tiny hover. It might be maybe 10 or 20 centimeters, but it's only really up to your kind of shoulder or hip height. So I'm not looking to get to 45 degrees as we did a moment ago. It's just a small lift and lengthen and down, small lift and lengthen and down. Okay, pausing here. Regroup. Right leg is going to lift and please hold. Nice. Now we're going to just imagine this right leg is on a little tiny table. Okay, it's not going to go any higher, it's not going to drop any lower, and it's just going to go slightly out to the right and then back to center. Slightly to the right and to center. You've got to feel a bit of energy on this left side of the body, like a counterbalance. Your left waist, your left shoulder blade, your left hip, your left foot is energizing and sticking you to the mat as the leg heads to the right. And we've got 2 more. Breathe in when you're center and exhale as you head to the right. Bring that leg back to center, place it back down. Okay, regroup. Breathing in, left leg hover. And when you're ready, we're going to send all the messages on the right side of the body to glue you down as the leg travels over to the left. Okay, so we're not looking at a really big gung-ho right angle to the side of you here. We're looking really pretty much to just open the leg to the width of the mat, guys. Okay, so not too far. If you've got to the point where you're really lifting your right hip, you're lifting your right shoulder, you've gone too far. If you feel like you're rolling over, you've gone too far. If you feel like you're tilting your pelvis to the side, you've gone too far. Okay, control to the side with an exhale. We've got 2 more. Breathing in. And final one. Gorgeous. And pause there with the leg down. Okay. You go ahead and lift your right arm only over into a single arm float over to the floor behind you. Okay. We're now going to roll over to the right, onto the side, and then onto your tummy. Okay. Pop in your hands now, one on top of the other. They are stacked in under your forehead. And go ahead and just have your legs down the middle of the mat, hip width apart, and reach them nice and long. Okay. Shoulder blades are back and down. Belly is slightly in. Now let's think that you've just, like a piece of bacon, you flipped yourself onto the other side, and we're going to cook this side now. So exactly the same principles apply. You've got that belly pulling in. Our neutral spine is there because that's our natural S shape. We can't do imprint this way. Our legs are nice and long down the middle of the mat, and I want you to just lift your right leg only single right leg lift and lower. So I'm going to get you to repeat that. Breathing in, repeat on the right as you lift and lower this right leg only. So guys, as you're lifting this right leg, let's really have a think about that belly pulling in to support your lower back. If you do find that it comes into your lower back too much, you can always pop a little cushion or towel support under your belly, yeah, to stop you from arching. Equally, you don't have to lift too far. What I want you to do is make sure that you feel that you've lifted and lengthened that leg. And as you lengthen that leg, it's almost that squeeze of the glutes in isolation that tells you you've got to your maximum range. Okay, pausing, let's go on to the left side now. Breathing in, exhale, let's go ahead and lift the left leg. And lengthen and reach as you lift with an exhale. We're trying super hard not to bend the knee. We're trying super hard for this to be from the thigh bone. It's the thigh bone lifting, like a lever or a switch, just flicking on as you head up and down. No knee, no ankle, no turnout. We've got 2 more. And final one. Okay, regroup, both feet on the floor. Nice. Okay. Have a little wiggle and jiggle if you need to. So in exactly the same as I say, we've flipped ourselves over. We're now going to go onto the right leg only, and we're going to take the right leg out in hover to the right corner of the mat. So when you're ready, breathing in, shoulder blades down, belly is in, lifting your right leg to bottom height. Stays there, reach it long. Now breathe in, and as if you're on a little tiny tabletop, take that leg out towards the right, staying in parallel to the bottom cheek and the floor, so you're not dropping down. You're not lifting up towards the corner. You're keeping in parallel. As you take this leg out towards the right, energy on the left side of the body, keeping you slightly in balanced communication with the mat there. Okay, so that left side of the body feeling heavy. Do try and keep the toenails down. Again, it's quite tempting to get as far as you can by starting to turn your toes out to the side of you. I don't want you to do that. I want you to think this is the thigh bone, just going out and in. No twist, no rotation, just to the out, in, to the out, and the in. Last time out, and back in, release down. When you're ready, onto the other side, the left leg long and lifted now, breathing in. We then take the leg out to the diagonal. And the diagonal. And back. Let that leg have a reach. Yeah, remember, you're stretching the thigh bone out the hip socket. Why? Because that's creating some space in the soft tissue. And it's stretching the muscles and allowing them to have the ability to move, some room to move. Again, heavy on the right side of the body. Don't overdo it. Isolate the thigh bone. Shoulders are relaxed. And go to your maximum range only, no further. Last 3. Well done. And last 2. And final 1. Gorgeous. Well done. Bring your leg back in. Well done. And we are going to now roll over so that you're now facing front for side lying. So nice, easy transition, roll onto your sides. Bring your knees up towards the front of you, the front corner of the mat. Okay, so if you want to face side, you can, that's fine. Nice, okay. Alrighty, so guys, from here, knees. Imagine a little ruler now is just in front of your kneecaps, okay? Just running towards the ceiling. And I want you to make sure your kneecaps are on that ruler, okay? What tends to happen is the top knee tends to shunt backwards towards the back of you. So make sure both kneecaps are right up against that ruler. Pop your hand on your top hip just to keep it nice and still so it doesn't move forward and backwards. Heels and feet are together, breathing in. Exhale, lift your top leg towards the ceiling and then release back down. Okay, so it's just a lift and lower. And again, what I'm checking for is that this top knee is not rolling backwards, so you don't lift and then open towards the back of you. Slide that kneecap up the ruler and back down. It might even need you to make a little bit of a push at the top of that top hip forwards to make sure that you stay on that ruler. Okay, it's a little bit possibly slightly unnatural feeling. Okay. And pause this next time your knee is up, please, guys. Pause with the knee lifted. Okay, so your knee is probably about hip width apart from the lower knee. And now I would like you to lift your foot and ankle to also be roughly hip width apart from your lower foot and ankle. So you've got a mirror image, one leg on the floor and one leg elevated in a bent position. Okay, now here's the rub. I want you to imagine now that this hip, this knee, this ankle of your top leg are going to stay in parallel the whole time. And we're going to just lift that leg slightly higher towards the ceiling and down. Okay, so it's just a lift and a lower, as if you're opening and closing some bellows. But we start at the hip height. And what I kind of don't want you to do is lift with the foot and reach, or lift with the knee and twist the leg. It's just a lift, gaining height, and a lower to the hip height, and a lift and a lower. Okay, checking out your style, looking at the horizon. Okay, sometimes because we've been checking out what's going on with the legs, we look and then we forget to tidy up the upper body. Yeah, and that's it. Looking forwards. Good. Again, as always, when your gaze goes somewhere, your body follows. Okay. Equally, when your ribs go somewhere, your pelvis follows, generally. So we're keeping everything facing forwards. We have just this thigh bone lifting and closing. Might be starting to shout at you a little bit now. We've got this is our last one. And pause with your legs back down, one on top of the other. Good stuff. Now, can you just extend your legs so that your ankles and feet now reach the front corner of the mat? Just at that front corner, right at the far end of the mat there, away from your head. Yeah, so you've kind of got your upper body in parallel to the front edge of the mat, and then you go on a wonk and a diagonal over with those feet to the front corner. Yeah, so you're like a bit of a banana shape. Okay, press into the lower leg slightly onto that front corner of the mat, and I just want you to lift your top leg and lower. Okay, so you've got a conscious awareness that you're pinned with the lower leg on that back lower corner of the mat, top leg lifting and lowering. Okay, pause at hip height when you can for me, please. Now flex at the ankle, so you pull the toes towards your knees. Okay, right angle at the ankle. Nice. So stretch there through the heel. Now send the heel forwards. Go and bring that leg right forwards for me. Play me a little song on your banisters there, Helen, and then send the leg behind you and point your toe. Point the leg to that back corner of the mat. Flexion at the ankle and then forwards. Okay, so basically forwards in flexion and point behind. Forwards in flexion. For our side kick, point behind. And forwards in flexion and point behind. Okay, gorgeous. Go ahead and pause now, one leg on top of the other. Back to your start position. Can you please slide your top leg up towards the inside of your knee joint on the lower leg? Okay, so you've kind of got this top leg bent, lower leg down, pressing on the mat still. And I want you now to think about pressing this knee slightly towards the ceiling and the pelvis slightly pushing forwards. Okay, so again, you're not rolling onto that bottom gluteal muscle. You're trying to think about opening the front pelvis if you can. All right. Now, we're going to try and extend the top leg to the sky. So see how you feel. We're going to extend that top leg towards the ceiling. And again, flex at the ankle. Do you remember that little right angle we made a moment ago? Yeah, so you've got high-fiving the sky. That's it. Now pull down with the heel. Imagine the heel is dragging you down towards the floor. So both legs come together. Now point your toes sliding into your knee joint. Yeah, so slide that leg in and then into lengthen. Flex and pull down with the heel. Point the toe into your knee joint. Extend the leg to the sky. Into flexion, pull down. And last time, pointing in towards your knee joint, extension, and gorgeous, well done. Okay, guys, we're going to go on to the other side. So bring your knees in towards you. Walk your hands up towards your hips, swing your legs round, and we are lying down. Again, this way, we're going to be in parallel to the mat to begin with. Bring your knees into 45. Okay, knee on knee, foot on foot, hips are stacked. Remember ruler, is just in front of those knees. So just double check you haven't let that top leg come back. Okay, nice. Okay, looking out to the horizon again, hips and pelvis and chest and shoulders facing forwards. Top leg then is just going to simply lift. The knee comes up, the feet stay together. First things first, knee coming up, feet stay together. Sliding that front knee, or the top knee, I should say, up the ruler. So you might need to feel a bit of energy pushing that front hip towards the front of your mat, sorry, the top hip towards the front of your mat slightly to make sure it stays forwards, yeah? Okay. Nice. Last two. And this is our final one where we leave the knee up. So come up with the knee, pause with the knee there. Okay, knee now stays where it is. Lift the foot so that it comes to your hip height as well. So you've got this mirror image, maybe a slight press down of the lower leg into the mat. So you've just woken up a few of those muscles in the low leg. Again, looking out to the horizon, we're just going to lift that top leg a little bit higher as if you're opening the book a little bit more and then releasing back down, breathing in. Exhale as you lift. Gorgeous, really nice understanding, nice, well done. Good, we're trying to avoid rotation at the leg. We're thinking it's a lift and a lower. Looks great, guys, well done. Lifting and lowering. Just in case you've looked down towards that foot and the leg, look out to the horizon again, tidy up the upper body. Yeah, well done, guys, nice. Keeping that knee forward. Sometimes, again, we can send it slightly back. So you've just got a mirror image, pressing in the lower leg slightly, a little bit more for these last four. Breathing in when you're down, exhale as you lift. Last two. Gorgeous. Last one. And release that leg back down onto the lower leg. Take both legs now and extend them to that front bottom corner of the mat. Nice. Just to double check, press a little bit into that lower leg so the legs are long and the lower leg is pressing, and lift the top leg and lower. So you've just got that reminder of where you are in space, reminder that your hips are stacked. Looks great, nice. Good. Remember, it's that front corner of the mat if you can. So both ankles should be right at that front corner. So you've made your little banana shape. That's it, nice. And then pausing with the leg lifted. Yeah, flex at the ankle now. Remember, you're going to bring the toes, that's it, towards your nose. We're ready for side kicks. So first of all, the leg comes forward, straight leg forwards. And now send the leg behind you and point at the back corner. Nice. Come forwards in flexion. Yeah, that's it. And then back in point. Good, well done. Feel the reach through the whole of the leg, pointing to the back. You stretch the front of the leg. Coming forwards, we stretch through the back of the leg. And back. And forwards. One more time. Still pressing that lower leg into the mat, planting you down. And this is our final one. And bring your legs together to the side. Okay, pointing your top leg now. Pointing your top foot. You're going to point towards the inside edge of your knee joint. The top knee is up towards the sky, pressing the hips forwards towards me. Go ahead and extend your leg towards the ceiling so we get a hamstring stretch. Add to that by flexing the foot, pull down with the heel. Into point, slide your toe to the knee joint. Extend your leg to the sky and pull down with the heel, stretching the back of the leg. Into point and to the sky. And we have one more, guys, when you're ready. Up to the ceiling and pull down with the heel. Gorgeous, well done. Just allowing those legs now to just restack. Bring your knees in to go towards your front. Nice. We're going to use this now to roll onto all fours. So pop your hands by your shoulders, swing your knees underneath you for all four kneeling. Well done. Okay. All righty, so pausing here, we're going to just cat stretch. So pressing the heels of the hands into the mat, press your shins into the mat, drop your chin to your throat space, look to your pubic bone, lift your belly, spread your shoulder blades, and really arch into cat stretch for me. Breathe in, exhale as you let your belly head towards the mat, looking forwards, lifting your gaze and push your tailbone away. Nice. Breathe in, exhale, and up into cat stretch. Spread those shoulder blades, press into the heels as if you're trying to jet back yourself towards the sky. And then breathe in, exhale, and sink down with the belly, looking forward, stretching even this throat space. And then into neutral. Well done. Tuck your toes under, guys. You're going to walk your hands back towards your knees. You might want to head straight up into a crouch. You might find you can go into a small ball. It depends where it's comfortable for you. This is small ball. This is your crouch. And either which way, can you bring your chin into your chest? The pelvic floor's under and the belly in. As you restack, think of these vertebrae. Think of one coming up and then the next and then the next as they restack one on top of the other into your lovely natural spine shape. Send yourself back into the middle of the mat, hands down by your sides. Well done. Feet in parallel. Let's go ahead and double arm float when you're ready. Sorry, no rush. Double arm float, lifting towards the ceiling. Well done. Press your air down by your sides. I turn the palms away from you. Reach those arms back down by your sides. One more time. Lifting the arms, double arm float. Turn the palms away. Reset the shoulder blades back and down, pausing here. Can you just lateral flex to your right, please? Easing the right fingertips down towards the floor and bring yourself back to center and to the left. Gorgeous. And pause there. Well done. All righty. One more time. Breath in, double arm float. Send the arms down by your sides. Reset. And feel the weight in your heels. Close your eyes for 2 breaths. Breathe in through the nose. As you exhale, let everything relax down and into the soles of the feet, through the fingertips. And one more time, breath in. Exhale. Open your eyes. And we are done. Well done. Thank you very much for everybody who's come. Thank you very much. If you're doing this at home and you're doing this on a recording, I thank you as well. So well done, everybody. Do take care. Stay safe. Message me any questions and I will see you, Ruth, in a couple of weeks. And I will see you, when you're back from your escaping of the fair. Take care, everyone. See you soon again. Bye-bye for now. Bye.